left the flagstick in with the maple leaf flag. Good pace. Are you serious? Oh my goodness! Glorious and free!
So Nick Taylor last week, sunk the 72-footer to win the Canadian Open, the first Canadian to win that Open. That was quite a remarkable feat, and we're going to talk about a few more topics around golf, including, the merger and, the acrimonious relationship LIV Golf and PGA had for the past 2.5 odd years, and now they're married again. We're also going to talk about golf in Pakistan and what are the challenges for, the professionals and adoption of the game in Pakistan. So I'll start off with Nick Taylor, 72-footer. Asif, you've been there quite many times, kicking a 4-footer, the knee knocker, and knocking in a 72-footer.
Okay, let me just take over. First of all, let me take you back a little bit. What the hell is Tommy Fleetwood thinking? He played that 18th hole 3 times. Thursday he birdied it. Friday he birdies it. Saturday he birdies the hole. He added a tailor-made mini driver. He does not have a 3-wood or a 5-wood. So he had no choice because that driver was carrying him into the creek, and his 3-iron was way too short. So his only option remained that he hits his 3-iron off the tee, then hits his mini driver. Okay, what a bad choice on even in the playoff hole. But I'm not even going to go there. Tommy Fleetwood should have easily won, birdieing that 499-yard par 5. I mean, that's it. That was his 120th start in the PGA Tour, and the guy has never won. And absolutely. I guess you know why, because he just did not take that risk that he needed. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry I had to rant on this because I wanted him to win, and he deserved it.
I agree with you. I mean, those about 6-8 footer that he got to actually win the title on the 2 playoff holes, I think he got a bit unlucky with those. I think he got under pressure for no reason, and I think the 72-foot putt that Nick Taylor made, I think that was overshadowed by the really nasty tackle that Hadwin got on the 18th. Everybody started talking about that tackle rather than the guy winning the Canadian Open. But what a really nice first for all the Canadian golfers. I think it was very special for the championship for Nick Taylor. Yeah.
All right. So all you 3-putt people, Hideki Matsuyama, a Japanese samurai ninja golfer, just missed a 4-foot putt just now at the US Open. Just now. So yeah, this game is just, it's tough. It's a tough game.
So talking about US Open, guys, what are your picks, Asim and Asif? What do you think who's going to make it this time?
Look, let me go first. I when before the tournament started, I'll be honest, my picks were Jon Rahm, Scottie Scheffler, and I picked Victor Hovland because he's on a great run and it's just been getting unlucky in all these majors. But I was wrong, man. These big guns have just shot. I never expected an 8 under on day 1 on the US Open. Pretty tough course, and yeah, there are a few guys who really killed the course. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do today. Maybe they're going to have make it more tough for these players, and I don't think that we'll see those low scores. But I think the field, including Rory, everybody around -5 has a chance. So I am picking DJ to win this. I'm rooting for Fowler, by the way, because I really wanted to win a major, and he's been at it for a very long time. But obviously the experience and the finesse lies with DJ. So my pick is DJ for US Open.
Asim,
Okay.
what's your take?
Well, Asim, let me just, since you're driving, so I'll just give you a little update. DJ's at 3 under after 10 holes because he quadrupled the second. He had an 8 on the second hole. He should have been one behind the leader right now. How do you do an 8? Aur uspe pani bhi nahi hai, bhai. There's no water in that hole. So yeah, but he's still, you're right, he's still tied for 8. Clark is leading at 9, Fowler at 8, Schauffele, they haven't teed off yet. Finau has made it up all the way to 5 under, guys, after 10 holes. Harris English is there. Brian Harman, I think they're going to drop off. Rory is at 3 under after 9 holes. But there's a lot of people that haven't teed off, like Scotty Scheffler hasn't teed off. He's playing, I think, with Bryson DeChambeau today. That would be a good flight to follow. They're both at 300, so they're going to post 3-4 under rounds each. So it's a tough call right now. Cam Smith is also at 3 under, by the way. He hasn't teed off. So if Cam Smith, he's the champion golfer of the year, the British Open champion, the PGA champ. So if he has the capability of shooting 5-6 under, I guess there's going to be a lot of movement tomorrow. It's the moving day, Saturday. But if I have to pick somebody right now, I think that I would probably go with Scotty Scheffler.
Oh, okay. So moving on from DJ, they've been discussing having quadruple, and the topic that is of interest for all of us right now, LIV Golf and PGA merger. So what's your take on that? That's quite an interesting merger where they've been having a lot of, back and forth, acrimonious kind of relationship for the last 2 to 3 years. So what's your take on that, Asif?
Yeah, first of all, if I have to discuss this, I would break it into 2 parts. Okay. First, I would take it as a business transaction. Okay. I would look at it just from a perspective of an activist investor. Okay. Let's just look at it like a billionaire activist investor comes into a corporation and sees that there is just so much value in it that hasn't been realized yet, that these people are not expanding fast enough, they're not growing it fast enough, they're just in this little PGA Tour club run by Jay Monahan and people, and they're just kind of like keeping it, you can say that they're just keeping it kind of closed and then just growing it intentionally at 15 to 10%, 15% every year. If you look at the prize money and stuff, that's for the past 20 years, it was growing at less than 15% every year. So what happened is people from outside, the big pockets, saw that, hey, what are these people doing? These players who are making $1 million a year, winning and playing for like 15 years, could be making $50 million a year, right? These people could be, these tournaments we can take them to Singapore, to Australia, to Japan, to Brazil, to Spain, and bring all the international stars there, create up some hype, get some local fans, merchandise, team format. So that was basically the transaction sense. You could just take it just like a activist investor would come into a corporation and see that, hey, if we fire this many people, if they open that many offices, if they reduce this, if they increase that, they can grow at 50% a year. And he did it. They did it, and you know how they did it was Greg Norman and people, and the experts that knew the game from inside out, that came in, and these people were so sure. And we think that these people just gamble or just take some extraordinary risks and stuff, but if you really go behind the scenes, these people have everything calculated to the dot. They knew that, hey, people are saying that, oh, how can you offer $200 million to DJ? They knew that they were getting DJ at 200 million was a deal for them, right?
Yeah.
The rest of the people and the PGA tours didn't see. So yeah, man, they did it, and it was a very, very surprising news, by the way, because of the merger. Nobody was expecting it. Yeah, they were saying that. Go ahead, Asam, you take over from there.
So I personally thought that having these different leagues is going to be actually very good for the game of golf, especially the young players who want to aspire to take it as a profession. I thought having different leagues would bring in more quality players, and it would add a little bit of more competition. And every time I used to watch a major, I used to always look at the LIV golf players versus the PGA and European PGA players and the Asian players. So I was really excited to have sort of an income stream for all these young golfers, and I thought the game of golf would have actually benefited. So I'm not excited about the merger, to be honest with you. I thought that every sport needs a little bit of competition with different leagues, and the formats that they brought in were very exciting, like you mentioned. So I was really I was a fan of LIV Golf more than PGA. I mean, during these last 2 years, I've been following LIV Golf more than I have followed the PGA Tour. So I think, but I don't know what plans they have. I think the chairman now for this merged entity is going to probably have more exciting sort of upcoming events, and they might add a little bit of more value to the game of golf, which everybody, all the audience, all the fans, all the players can then benefit from. But unfortunately, it's going to be run by the same PGA. Pretty much the team that they have right now. He's the CEO. So let's see, let's wait. But I wasn't excited about this merger, to be very honest with you guys.
Right. So, Greg Norman back in 1994 also started, an idea about it back in the early 90s when he was like head-to-head with Nick Faldo back in the days. But it never flew, and it just got shot down by so many people. And now with LIV Golf, he came back again. And apparently this news, that just surfaced through Twitter to all the golf fanatics. Greg Norman was just informed like an hour before the CNBC announced his news. So it wasn't yet well coordinated. It was in close quarters. And I think some people at the top just decided and, took a decision and let it out. But in all fairness, I believe, you can't just bifurcate two sets of great golfers in two different teams not to be able to compete together on all the global events. So I think this merger is a good side for golf in particular. And we will have all the great players to, play the same challenging fields like the US Open. And by the way, 290 yards par 3, guys. What do you want to say about that? How do you approach it?
Yeah, man, that is that's a sick par 3.
I want to throw something out there is that, with our experience from how the game of cricket has evolved, because we all have been following cricket from a very young age, like we have been following golf, and we've been playing golf for a very, very long time. So we understand that, just before our time, and Asif might be able to actually shed more light on it, is that when the Kerry Packer, Benson and Hedges series started in Australia, so it was also somewhat of offshoot from from conventional cricket that these guys used to play, and that became a sensation in the game of cricket with the white balls, the colored kits, and all of that. It kind of brought that excitement in the game of cricket, and then the ICC and all the other bodies involved had to accept and had to adapt to it. So I personally thought that LIV Golf would probably bring in a little bit of more, spice and flavor into the game of golf. But let's see. And moving on to the par three, Ahab, it's a tough one, man. I mean, probably
you'll be Asim. You will be laying up, Asim. You will be laying up.
a 400 from
Please. But Ahab, I will add one thing. Being actually around golf and tournaments, went to school there and lived there. I will tell you that it was the only professional sport where you have to spend money out of your own pocket. Okay. Go to a tournament, get a caddy, ask a friend, somebody, family member, spend $15,000-$20,000 traveling, get cut after the 2 days, and come home with nothing. Okay, and then people who make the cut, if they're in the last 10, like look at the prize money of before the last 2 years because they've increased it. The 60th guy at any PGA tour would go home with $15,000. Yeah. Right? So except for the top 10, these mega stars, everybody else was not even making money. So this whole debate and this whole thing started from these exact things. And I don't know if you guys remember that Justin Thomas and this one fan got into it one day. The fan said that, why is the beer and $17, right? And he tagged Justin Thomas and he said, maybe because of your prize money at JT, haha, or something, right? So JT replied back to the guy on Twitter and he said, listen, the money that the PGA makes from the merchandise and selling these beers and all of these things is not included in the prize money at all, by the way. Right. So the debate started that what are these people doing with all this money? Then, of course, Phil Mickelson started that, hey, these people have $750 million in their bank. And you guys who don't make the cut are starving. And except for the top 10, nobody else has sponsorship deals. People are having to go buy their own golf balls, yeah, and their clubs. Yeah. So this last 2-year thing, and Phil Mickelson is right. He actually, every player in the PGA should thank him for bringing this out. And he basically forced the PGA to now start paying them, and players are now questioning, and the prize monies have gone ridiculously up. I was just looking at it. It's a $18 million tournament. US Open is. I mean, of course, it's still less than any one LIV golf tournament because they go above 20. So yeah, man. Okay, back to the par 3. Yeah, it's a sick hole, but I will say this is the first time. I was not expecting this. I'm a little you can say disappointed by the course and the green peoples and the superintendents. And I mean, yeah, US Open, I want you to go to the US Open where the winning score was 1 over par. Okay? Yes. That's a US Open. Exactly. Where people are struggling and the rough is big and the greens are rolling off and the pins are stuck. There are so many short holes in this US Open that if you just hit irons on the hard ones and just get a par, like don't even try to go, then you get so many opportunities to birdie these short par 4s. There's 376 yard, 285 yard par 4, etc. So, I mean, look, it's the score is the second day going into 9 under. I mean, no PGA US Open champion has ever scored a 63 in the first round that Ricky Fowler and Schauffele did. They broke the record. So that the course is playing extremely easy. And I was actually hoping for like a Chambers Bay kind of a setting, or the Pinehurst #2, where these people are. Look, we've seen them birdie holes, we see them hitting long drives, we see them making putts. We want to see them struggle.
Exactly. That's my
we
point.
We want to see that how Rory is going to hit a green sloping backwards, rolling at 13 on the stem, and he's sitting on a 3.5, 4 feet of Bermuda grass, right? How is he going to stop the ball? So I guess that's my input. But I know one thing, that weekend is going to play tougher. I will tell you this, that it's not going to be these scores like 6 under for a day. You're not going to see that on the weekend.
Exactly, Asif. So, I mean, I'll just endorse what you just said. You like to see these professionals, these great players, not to just play a very easy course, just, getting onto the green, getting a birdie or a par. You want them to struggle. We want to feel, how we play the courses as amateurs and the challenges that we face. So we want to relate to them. They play a different game altogether. But moving on to our last topic today, Asif, I think we've all played golf all across Pakistan, all the courses at Karachi, from Karachi Golf Club to DHA, then to Lahore, Raya, Garrison, and so many more, and then in Islamabad as well. You guys have also played in Badaper, in Peshawar, and Quetta, and all those courses as well. So let's talk about golf in Pakistan. How and why it has not evolved since all these great players that we've had in Pakistan. Shabir had won his 200th golf tournament, yet he's not even seen anywhere on the Asian Tour, let alone, anybody making the PGA. Why are we as Pakistanis not being able to get to that level? What's your take on that, Asim? Over to you. Maybe you could share your thoughts on that.
Well, Ihab, it's a sad story. I'm afraid, we have had these conversations back and forth. I remember sitting at the Karachi Golf Club 19th hole with the people who manage the Sindh Golf Association, some very senior people among large corporates and multinationals, and I asked them this question, that why wouldn't you sponsor a Shabir Ahmed or whatever, Shabir or Munir or a Hamza or anybody, or that young golfers who are coming up, and why would you go to a Naseem Shah or a Shaheen Afridi and make stars out of them? So the answer was very simple, Ihab. It's just that they talked about the audience, and they said that golf does not. It is an elitist sport in Pakistan. People play it, and they don't allow for general public to get involved in it because of all the club restrictions, because of the money involved, because of all of those things involved. So that's why we haven't seen the same kind of talent coming up, and I'm sure there must be plenty of guys who are really talented, but unfortunately because of lack of resources, they couldn't make it to that level and couldn't represent the country in big sporting events in golf around the world. So it all comes down to the same thing. We are very protective, and we are very, I don't know, we have sort of made this sport a very selective sport for people around Pakistan, and that's unfortunate. That is very, very unfortunate. So I think that's probably one of the main reasons why we haven't seen anybody from Pakistan actually going to this international level.
Right. Asif, you've played with a lot of professional golfers in Pakistan. I mean, the who's who of the golf, fraternity that we have. Mostly caddies who have evolved to be the champions. What do you think about the challenges? Why can't they take the next step? Are they complacent? they're not getting the funding, they're not driven, they're not motivated enough to go to the next level? Or is it all financials?
Okay. So it's a difficult question when you talk about golf in Pakistan, because of course, like unlike cricket, it's not the primary sport played in neighborhoods and the streets and the villages and everywhere like golf is in US. Okay, so I will tell you this, that exactly like these kids in very like on farms and in countryside and small villages, they have golf courses there, huh? And they go work at the farm during the day, and they drive the tractors and they do all of that stuff, and then in the afternoon they go grab their golf clubs and then drive to this municipal course and pay like $10 and play there. So so for them, the access and the game is in the roots. It's everywhere. Number two, the problem, okay, with Pakistani players is, it's the same problem that there is in every institution in Pakistan, right? In every institution. Do you think people in Pakistan cannot make a cheeseburger, right? But there's no McDonald's, right? Somebody from outside came in, put this nice, huge restaurants everywhere. And now if you go there right now, there'll be about 40 cars in the driveway. You wouldn't have room to sit. And if you order something, it'll take you 45 minutes for them to deliver. So the point is that, if you want to really talk about it, could nobody in Pakistan have come up with something like that or provided that kind of service, or right? It's not like they have some technologically advanced something. No, it is that people they try to grow it. They put their emphasis in it. Smart people get together. They open the game. They bring it into the middle primary school system, high school golf teams, college golf teams, so it grows like that. All these PGA professionals and most of these players that you see, they come through the NCAA college network.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is that's that. I would not go deep into that because that it would take a lot of that. Does somebody have an ability in Pakistan to go play? I think we should not go and say, okay, why is no Pakistani playing at the PGA Tour? Okay, that is too big of a jump. The question we should ask is, why is no Pakistani even in the top 10 in any Asian tour event?
Correct.
Right? Why can't they even go to like Malaysia or Philippines and Vietnam and win there? So if you can't even win in your own region, and because the path is there, the path is there. The Asian tour, the guy who wins the Asian tour gets invited to the Masters, to the US Open, and you get an exemptions at tournaments, and some guys made it. So, a lot of guys have come onto the PGA Tour from the Asian Tour. They go to the DP World Tour from Asian Tour. I think they have some exemptions that they give to the Asian Tour, etc. Yeah. I guess the thing would be it's not the sponsors and all of that. It's the drive also, because unlike just like other sports. Most of these professional golfers are coming from impoverished backgrounds, and once they get up to a certain point where they're making $100,000 a year, like Shabir is, for example, right? So then they get complacent. Yeah, they feel like, that's it. They've done it, right? Because there's nobody to push them higher. There's no incentive. They don't have that drive. And that would come from a kid who says that, hey, my goal is not to win 4 or 5 tournaments so I can buy a car, right? My goal is to play on the PGA Tour. My goal is to be in the top 20 in the world. Those are goals that you follow. But when your goals are set with some sort of monetary limit, then you become complacent. You get there and you say, okay, oh, bas ji, ho gaya ji, kar liya ji, bas. They start, you start getting, because you saw such a big diversion of lifestyle when you were growing up. You didn't have anything, and now at least you are in the middle class or a middle higher class. So that difference is so big for you that you feel like you've accomplished just enormous, and they have. But what is that next force that pushes them to go up and achieve that? They don't have that in Pakistan. And I've seen some of these pros, and I will tell you, fitness-wise, they're zero. Okay,
Yes.
okay. Let's be honest. Okay,
Yeah.
they will come and tell you. I've seen pros in NCAA college level players. They have mandatory gym classes. They have trainers. Shapir have the resources. Other people have the resources. Spend some money, get some nutritionist, get a trainer, do some, like that. That's what pushes you to the next level. Go ahead, As.
Okay, Ihab, just on that point, look, if Shabir was getting $100,000, no questions asked, to play in the Asian PGA tour, don't you think that he would be willing to go if he was getting whatever he makes in Pakistan? If he was getting a confirmed sum from some sponsor, he has to probably spend his own money, the whatever 100,000, 150,000 that he earns every year. He has to pretty much sponsor his own, travel, his caddies, and his equipment and everything. So I hear you.
Guys, I want to move on to the last topic, which is around these young golfers like Ahmed Beg and Hamza Amin and Umar Khalid and the people who are in the Middle East, grooming their kids to go to the college, university, and their main end game is to enable them to get into the NCAAs, get some sponsorship for golf, and let's see how their future unfolds with golf in the future in the US. So apparently, while I've been following most of the stories of the young kids, 14, 15, 16, and 17, how much effort, the parents have to put in order to correct so many dynamics of golf, because this game is so complicated. You need to monitor each and every movement of your backswing and the takeaway and how you approach the ball and swing the ball over a period of time. Secondly, as you rightly mentioned, Asif, these since Tiger Woods, all these Statlers and the John Daly's and the Big Bellies, they're all gone. Everybody has to hit the gym to be able to be competitive enough. Now it's a different ballgame altogether. This has never been inculcated into our Pakistani regime, even in cricket for that matter. There is this Moeen Khan's son who is still, scoring runs, really fat. People think that, he will make it one day, but he's not working on his fitness to the level to compete in the international scale. So I do believe staying back in Pakistan and expecting somebody to go and win an Asian tour one day, I think is not happening in the next 10, 20 years, or this whole cycle doesn't work. The only way it can work is for some of these young guys to actually go to the US, get trained. By the way, Ali Hai went to the US. He won the Bangladesh Open. He was a premier race golfer on the amateur tour for Pakistan for a very long time. Yet, he came back. He played in the US, came back, and then, just didn't pay enough attention or focus onto golf. So I do believe the only channel for us to see a golfer on TV anytime soon are these young guys who are individually taking all the financial hits, trying to make all the effort to get all these WAGR points to be able to qualify for the Asian Tour and then for the PGA and so on and so forth. The only best bet is that. Other than that, I think the model in Pakistan does not facilitate any growth in golf for many years to come.
Yeah, no, I agree. and I don't see anything that look. You can take kids at a younger age and get them to start playing golf and all of that, but you can never create that drive in them. So most of these golfers that you see, like Dustin Johnson and Brooks Koepkas and these people in high schools and junior high, they were playing baseballs and basketballs and golf and tennis and all of these sports. And then they decided themselves that, hey, which sport are we going to take where they were inclined towards, and and this notion, Ehab, that you can take a 80-year-old kid and or a 5-year-old kid and just make him play golf and golf. It does not work out in professional sports. You need to develop a lot of different muscles. You need to develop a lot of different things. For example, the hand-eye contact that you develop from racket sports, from playing tennis or badminton or ping pong or baseball, the physical stamina that you develop from playing basketball. So all of these things develop that person to then have the ability to be able to go and play. Otherwise, you can try it. Yeah, you can to put a kid into a golf school every day from 8 to 5. He's not gonna make it. I mean, he may become a professional in Pakistan. Okay, he may become this and that. Yeah, but we are talking about just at least making it to the DP World Tour. जहाँ पे हम डीपी वर्ल्ड टूर का कोई इवेंट देख रहे हो तो हमें पता हो कि यार 4 पाकिस्तानी खेल रहे हैं या 2 या 3, जैसे कोरियंस होते हैं, जैसे जापानीज, जैसे even a player from Thailand and Philippines, and they are playing. तो यार हो सकता है, it's not, nothing is impossible, but you have to create that drive and the infrastructure to make it happen. Unfortunately, you're right. The games have evolved so much, and now it's getting so competitive. Like you gave that example of cricket. Okay, Dekho, Azam Khan is, I'm a fan of that guy. He's fit enough that he can score 80 runs in like 30 balls, right? But yeah, he's not maybe fit enough to field on the boundary somewhere, or maybe, okay, maybe we could keep him, maybe. So I'm not, I won't go there, but technically you're right. No team outside, no county team is going to get him to play because they know that he's going to be a liability on the field, right?
Yeah.
So the game has evolved. 20 years ago, there wouldn't have been a problem with that. And even in golf, we see, a lot of older professionals that were out of shape, but they were excellent golfers.
So Asif, I want to add something here. You pointed out a very, very important point, which is the infrastructure, the support for all these golfers. I think that is the reason why we are lacking. Our golf courses are predominantly private membership only golf courses. These are the association is extremely rich, but it is not willing to spend that money on the players, on the golfers, to develop them, and they don't realize that it's only going to bring in more money for them eventually. So like we were discussing yesterday also, that all these professionals or semi-professionals who come from being a caddy. I mean, all the top players in Pakistan, the professionals, pretty much were carrying bags at one point in their lives. So they were all kind of going through, But so what they actually do was, they have certain times that they can play. They cannot play with other members. They have to, I mean, it's very tough. And we've seen all of these people, and we've spoken to them. We've heard their concerns. So I'm afraid my 2 cents on this subject is that our golf association, people who play and love this sport, have to actually realize that, look, it is not a sport to be played by by retired bureaucrats. The sport should be for all ages and all members to actually be able to enjoy. Women and children under 18 should have free rounds on every golf course in Pakistan. They should have a free round of golf. They should not be able. Here you go. I mean, I can give you an example. I took my young son to play at one of the clubs in Pakistan, and you won't believe that the secretary, just because there was a high-ranking official playing on the course at that time, he came up to me, the secretary of the course, and said, kids are not allowed to play. And I was shocked. I was completely bewildered that what makes you say that? That kids are not allowed to play. And, we had a huge argument there. And unfortunately, that's the mentality.
Asim, I completely agree with you. Asim, there's a huge problem, but this problem exists just in this Pakistani environment where, you have golf courses that are run by certain organizations and institutions, and their goal is not customer service. Their goal is not increasing profits. Their goal is just to please one sector of that thing. And just so they can have that golf course on a public land, they have no choice but to allow the rest of us to come play. Otherwise, they would even shut down the gates. They would say, that's it. Nobody's allowed to play there. But then how are they going to justify taking over thousands and thousands of acres of our land, the taxpayers' land, right? So that is the dilemma in golf in Pakistan. Anywhere else, I've played golf all over the world. Yeah, Asim, I've played at courses where you are considered a client, just like you go to a restaurant. If your food is not good, if you tell them that, hey, you don't even have to give them details. You said, I don't like this fish. They will replace it. The chef, the manager, the owner will come to your table, apologize that, hey, you know why? Because they're driven by customer service, by profits, by enhancing and increasing their values, because it's an enterprise. That's why the enterprise is very, very, very important. That's why the communist kind of a control system never works. So, yeah, I agree with you, Asim. It's a very sad reality.
On a parting note, just on this subject, as Asif pointed out, that the access to this game is available. There was a person that I was talking to, and he gave me a very, very moving example. He said, look, the reason why golf is not successful, or we don't have successful golfers coming out of Pakistan, is because he was in Australia, and he said, I was waiting for my Uber, and there was a trash truck which came, and they were guys picking up the trash can, and he said, so he moved away because he was just waiting for his Uber, and he just asked this guy, so, just as a conversation, he said, so how do you spend your day? And the guy said, look, man, my shift is ending in 10 minutes, and I'm going to go and play golf. And this guy was shocked. This guy was shocked. He was like, what? You play golf? Yeah. And he said, my shift ends in 10 minutes, and I'm hitting the course, man. And he was picking up trash in Australia, and so that's the kind of access they have, and that's how they are able to produce all these golfers. I mean, I was watching Brooks Koepka's, story. I was following it, and he told the audience that, look, my mother used to just be a single working mom, and she had nowhere for me and my brother to go, so she used to drop us at the golf course, and she used to go work 4, 5, 6 hours, and we were just there. We were at the golf course, and they weren't told to get out, or you can't play, or you don't know how to play, first learn, and this and that. And now he's the best golfer in the world. So that's how champions are made. We need to realize it, and somebody has to tell these associations that it's going to bring in more money for you guys. People from Pakistan, when they're represented, it's going to create such a huge, it would be something that they can take a lot of pride in. The government is going to be so acknowledge it, or maybe bring in with some government support into the game and all of that. So it's a sad story, and I hope somebody from Pakistan actually goes and plays in Augusta. That's one of my dreams. I hope it comes true in my lifetime.
Asim, that is a great point. The golf associations and the PGFs and those entities. But the problem is, again, that the PGF now tries to derive most of their revenues from the housing societies that are getting golf courses made. They have interjected themselves and said, oh, if you want to make a golf course, you have to get our OKs and our things and our fees and like they have gotten into that thing. So they care nothing about an average golfer, how to grow the game. They're not entrepreneurial people. Like I said before, there is a reason why people go to business schools, Asim. There is a reason why people go and learn from people who have built courses, who have run organizations, who have done these things, is because they've done it, and there is a process to it. These people think that they can do it all and everything on their own and wing it. So yeah, that's the thing, guys. At the parting, I'm going to plug in my quicktick.com.pk, the salary advance portal. We're signing up clients everywhere. So do spread the word. And it was a fun podcast, Sahab. I know it was our first one.
Yeah.
And so thanks for setting it up.
Thank you for setting it up. And it was amazing. We must get together on a regular basis, discuss a lot of different, different topics, and we will continue this. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, guys. On that note, we'll finish this off, but we'll continue this with the US Open that's happening. We'll see who the winners are. We'll have another podcast. And 23 Grand Slam, Djokovic. We all play tennis. We need to discuss that trio and who's the GOAT of all time. The tennis has never seen anything like this. 3 players battling it out together for such a long time. So, guys, till the next podcast, I'll see you guys again, and thank you so much for joining. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right. See you guys. See you, Asim.